what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033.
Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Soul Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou spell thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray if they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is earth to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Brother Amir Malone. We have Sister Hala Brooks of California. We have Brother Captain Hakeem Muhammad and the Believers in Richmond. And we have Brother Mustafa and Sister Sharice Ali from Ohio. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about the God of the Black Man, W.D. Farad, versus ISUPK's Yahawah. Now this brother sent me this video because a lot of brothers send me videos when people diss the messenger and they see him, so they send them to me. So it's a lot of videos, so if you sent me a video and I ain't, it just be a lot. So this brother sent me this video. So I'm listening to this brother, complete nonsense that he was talking. But just like we always do, we want to go on the live and tell this brother, because I can't pronounce whatever this brother's name is. It's Officer something. He ain't in IUIC. He in ISUPK. That's Captain Tazariot's group. So we like to say, prove what you're saying. Because he said a lot of nonsense in this video. It was a lot. So the two things we're going to deal with today that he said. First, he said that the messenger is not honorable. But he going to say, General Yahawah. This is what this brother said. He said a messenger, but the leader of he something, but the messenger ain't nothing. That's what he said. That's the first thing we're going to deal with. The second thing he said that we're going to talk about is he said that Master Farad Muhammad is not God. He said he a devil. So those are the two things that we're going to talk about today. First, we want to understand, how do we know the facts about the messenger? Because you got these jealous Israelites. They talk about the messenger. You get a lot of information from people in this generation about so how do you know the facts about the messenger if we never saw him? First Google search is, are newspapers primary sources in research? It says yes. Newspapers are often primary resources in research because they offer first-hand accounts, eyewitness reports, and immediate impressions of events as they happen. That's what we got to understand when we listen to these Israelites. Because they jealous of the message. They really want to be the Jewish nation of Islam. That's what they want. But they don't know we the best. Got a sorry to break the news to you. Because he gonna say the FOI ain't nothing. Ain't nothing like that. The fruit of Islam is the best. Yes. Can't nothing touch a FOI. Right. Especially not no IUIC or no ISUPK. Because if you want to look at the history of the Nation of Islam, because if you want to hire a person for a position, before you hire the person, you look at their resume. Because their resume gonna tell you the history or the work history of this person. If we want to compare IUIC and ISUPK to the FOI, look at our resume. But that ain't what we came to talk about. He said a lot of nonsense. But we gonna deal with him saying the messenger ain't honorable and Master Farad Muhammad not God. So since we never saw the message, it's important for us to understand why newspaper articles are so important. Because they give first-hand accounts. That's very important. Because when you listening to these Israelites, you're not getting a first-hand account. When he talking about the messenger not honorable, he not giving you a first-hand account. Then it says eyewitness reports. He not giving an eyewitness report. He just giving his biased, jealous opinion. Yes. Then it says immediate impressions of events as they happen. The immediate impression. So when the messenger was on the scene coming out with these different programs, what was the immediate impression? When black people saw or experienced going from Negro to loving black, what was the immediate impression on them? When black people first saw how to eat to live, when they was eating nothing but soul food, nothing but hog, what was their immediate impression? When black people first saw do for self, what was their first immediate impression? When they saw the messenger going into the prisons, reforming prostitutes, reforming criminals, what was their immediate impression? That's what we want to know to see whether or not the messenger was honored. We don't want to listen to a fake, a jealous Israelite. So let's go on even further. It says, yes, newspapers are often primary sources in research because they offer first-hand accounts, eyewitness reports, and immediate impressions of events as they happen, including photos, ads, and editorials reflecting the era. It says, but they can also be secondary if they analyze past events or filter information through bias, requiring careful evaluation for context, bias, and reliability. We got to remember that too. When you read these old articles that do like he do, give your opinion of what you think. That's not a first-hand or a primary source. That's secondary. Or when you have people, it says filter information through bias. So when you read one of these primary sources in these old articles, and you see what the messenger come up with, what he come up with, how they to live. Or when black people go from Negro to black, you see the immediate impression. Then you might read another article from a Christian preacher who liked Negro, so he don't like the messenger. That won't be a primary source. That's secondary, because he giving his opinion. He filtering it through his own bias. But when you see black people who go from Negro to loving black, and you look at the wide range effect of that, that's the primary immediate effect of what he did. That's the primary source to get an understanding. So let's go on even further. It has a section that says when newspapers are secondary sources. It has a section that has filtered information. It says reports based on secondhand accounts or filtered through editorial bias, profit motives, or reporter's personal mission. You gotta know this when you read articles. You can't just think just because you get an article that's written in the 60s or the 70s about the messenger, that's a primary source. You got to understand the editorial person's personal mission. And when you read the article, because the thing about the messenger is when you read black people's write-up of the message, then you listen to the Uncle Toms and then the white man, you can clearly see this is bias. Because when you listen to black people explain what happened in their mind when they went from Negro to color, when they said we used to hate black, psychologically. Then when we first hear Mr. Muhammad telling us to love black, we thought that was stupid. But then over the years, we began to change our thought pattern. We began to reflect on what he was teaching. And we began to see that black is really who we are. So then we go from loving Negro to loving black. Then you hear that Christian preacher who loved being a Negro. He not explaining no kind of change, no phenomenon, no change in the thinking. He's staying the same old Uncle Tom Negro that he was before. So that's going to be a biased article. Just to explain it to you. Now let's go to what I like to do. I call it beating the dead horse. Because maybe ISUPK don't know their own history. So we're going to use some newspapers to show them about their own, since they say the messenger not honored. We got to go back to some newspapers to see how did ISUPK come into existence. First, we got to start with a black newspaper called the New York Amsterdam News. Because this is where Rabbi Wentworth, this was where he was setting up shop, or where he had set up shop since 1919. He was in New York City since 1919. So let's go back to 1969. What was Wentworth doing in 1969 in New York, and what was the messenger doing? Because ISUPK was formed by Abba Bivens in 1969. Abba Bivens had been following Wentworth for years. But Abba Bivens, just like all black people, was listening to the message. Just like all black people, Abba Bivens began to change. He got tired of bootlicking with old Wentworth. So he, like all black people, began to update that Negro, nigga, and colored boy nonsense that they was talking about before. So let's start with June 7th, 1969, New York, Amsterdam News. It's under the section called Church World. It's a little, because they got under Church World, they got the black Jews with the preachers. It got a little section that says respect for a rabbi. It says Chief Rabbi Wentworth A. Matthews, years long labor. Not a year, but it say years, plural. Years long labor for recognition from white Jews has reaped a harvest mutually satisfying to Harlem's best known black Jew and white jury. Now let's go back for ISUPK, because these Israelite niggas is the blackest niggas in the world today. Because the niggas act like they forgot. But we gonna remind these niggas about their history. Before these niggas start copying off the best, therefore I, copying off the best, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Got to remind these niggas. So the first thing we notice is Wentworth still got his slave name. That's the first thing we got to remind these niggas. Cause these niggas is issues, and I'm Tazariak, and I'm whatever this dude. Look at him. We can't even pronounce his name. Let me find my picture. He offers a, you know, after these niggas start copying the message, can't even pronounce this nigga name. He offers a, but Wentworth was Wentworth A. Matthews. They blacker than the Nation of Islam today, but Wentworth and Abba Bivens. He Abba Bivens. But he Abba. Well, Yahawah, what they call him? When I was debating Tazariak, one of the brothers, when it was question and answer time, I had never heard this before in my life. He didn't say Jehovah. He didn't say Yahweh. He said Yahawah Bashua. So with Wentworth, he was still using his slave name. His years-long labor was to be accepted by the white Jews. Now these niggas, when they copy the messenger, now it's Yahawah Bashua. Now he offers a habada. Keep that in mind. Let's go on even further than that. He got his slave names Matthews. It said Chief Rabbi Wentworth A. Matthews, years-long labor for recognition from white Jews has reaped harvest mutually satisfied or mutually satisfying to Harlem's best known black Jew and white Jew. So all them other black Jews in Harlem was just as satisfied as the rabbi. Because all their years long labor before they start copying the message was to be accepted by the white Jew. That's why we got to bring these papers. Because Officer Yahawah ain't gonna tell you that. He gonna act like, oh, we just woke up. Abba Bivens just woke up one day and felt like he wanted to get ISUPK. Nah. He was with the rabbi. But he saw the message. He saw the messenger start turning the black man to black. Yes. So now he don't want to be with old rabbi no more. He want to add the messenger's teachings to that black Hebrew Israelite garbage. Now let's go on any further than that. It says Rabbi Matthew, spiritual leader of Ethiopian Orthodox Hebrew Commandment Keepers congregation, Harlem's leading black synagogue. We got to remember that when we talking about Rabbi Matthews and Abba Betts. They were the leading black Jewish synagogue in Harlem. Remember that. When you listen to these cats tell you, oh, Elijah Muhammad, he wasn't on it. Master Farad Muhammad, he wasn't God. The leading rabbi, the leading Jews, is the ones who labor paid off for licking the boots of the white man. So if the leading black synagogue happy, all the rest of the nigga Jew happy too. Because they the ones out front licking the most boots, licking up under his boot. Licking his boot while he walking through dog doo-doo. Let me lick your boot. Because the one thing that I respect more about a Christian than a boot-licking Jew is because while Wentworth was boot-licking, the Christian preacher was in the streets shedding blood. Yes. But now these niggas, they blacker than everybody now. In 2025, where Yahawah Bashawa, where you can make all this AI Yahawah Bashawa flying through the sky stuff. Now Yahawah Bashawa, he the God of the black man now. But what about in the 50s, when you had Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth on Christmas Eve? The white man bombed his house with him, his wife, and his children in the house for trying to integrate. And they say that was the third attempt. Where was Yahawah Bashawa? Where was Wentworth? Where was Abba Betts? They was somewhere bootlicking. You don't even find no black Jews as spokesmen in the 60s, in the 50s. They wasn't speaking up for the black man. His years-long labor was to be accepted by the white man. Let's go on any further than that. It says Rabbi Matthew, spiritual leader of the Ethiopian Orthodox Hebrew Commandment Keepers congregation, Harlem's leading black synagogue, last week obtained what he long ago secured from Ethiopia's Jews. It's called a Shemaka, given him by Rabbi Chaim Rabinowitz, dean of whatever, Israel Rabbinical Academy of America. So in the newspaper, you got old Rabbi standing next to the white man. Now remember, this the black newspaper. This is what black people saw. While they seeing the messenger transform the black man from Negro to black, this what they seeing with the Jew. That's why I had to read for you. Why is it important to get these papers? Because Yahawah Bashawa and them, they ain't gonna tell you these facts. They gonna give you some filter history to make you think they always believed in the Bible. Rabbis don't believe in the Bible. That's another fact we gotta tell you about these Yahawah Bashawa brothers. They be talking about the Bible like they always believed in the Bible. But just like we seeing in this article, he wanted to be a Jew recognized by the white Jew. He didn't want in the street telling the black man he the lost sheep. He wasn't talking like ISUPK be talking about to be a Jew is a blood. When did being a Jew become a bloodline? The Bible been out since 1611. All the stuff it's saying that today is said in 1611. Yes. The nigga be acting like it's something new. It was saying that when rap. Why he wasn't telling the black man, you know, it's a bloodline. This rabbi, he Esau. Because Abba Bivens hadn't updated it yet. Abba Bivens, just like all the rest of them Jews, they go take the Messenger's article, see how they can, okay, he say the whole white race is a race of devils. So who in the Bible? Esau. He say you Muslim by nature. That's what he telling them. So what can we, we can tell them to be a Jew is a bloodline. That's what we can tell. He say God, he say the mother will. So what? Oh, chariots. That's what we gonna call it, chariots. He talking about Allah, we gonna say Yahawah Bashawa. We gonna say. They changing their name to Ali, Muhammad, Rasul, Sharif. We gonna change it to his. I'm Captain Tazariak. Because they got a military, we need a military too. So I'm officer, well, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be Captain Tazariak. They going out in the street to teach, we gonna go out in the street. Just like they do. Huh? Now we gonna tell them, that Islam ain't nothing. But before we do it though, we got to make sure. We got to make sure. Yes, sir. Because I wasn't like these brothers born in 1993. Born in 2000. They might be impressed with the Hebrew Israelite stuff. I came up in the 80s, 90s. Wasn't nobody checking for no Israelite. Farrakhan put them on the map. Let's just talk a little bit of history. Real quick, there's so much I want to say. So Farrakhan is the one who put them Israelites in that black Hebrew Israelite garbage on the map. In 1970, we're going to show the pictures. In 1978, Farrakhan went to Dimona, Israel to beat Ben Ami. Gotta give a disclaimer. I ain't gonna put Ben Ami now with ISUPK and IUIC. They was a different kind of Hebrew. I gotta talk about how I came up in this, the truth. How I discovered it, what I saw. Ben Ami them was cool. You actually could go chill with Ben Ami them. You actually could go to a meet, nigga, no disrespect. I used to go to the Soul Vegetarian in Atlanta, Georgia. Used to go to the Wisdom Hut, chill with me. Oh, we used to be talking all day. Go to their meeting. Never was no disrespect. It was just that little bit of, you know, you the Muslim and he the Hebrew, so it just wasn't never clicking like you would with a Muslim, but it was love. Not like these niggas. Not with all the Quran and Prophet Muhammad this and all, none of that. It was love. He a black man, I'm a black man. He think different, he got a different belief, but we brothers. That's how it used to be. Right. So Farrakhan, back to that. Farrakhan is the first Muslim who befriended the black Hebrew Israelites. When the messengers saw Ben Ami them go to Israel and get beat up on by the Jew, they used to make fun of them.
That he will come from the east and gather you from the west. That's pretty plain, brother. Gather us from the west. Israel will not be gathered, but it's you and me that's in the house of Israel that must be gathered. We don't belong to Israel's house. the race of Israel. It's the devil's race. But they have us in their race, and to show you how so foolish the devil have made us. Here goes black people from America to help fight on the side of Israel. He gets his black brothers over there, calling themselves black Hebrews. Brothers, that is not the worst foolery you ever read of.
They used to write articles about Ben Ami. Wondering, like, all these black people in America, why would you leave America to go to Israel to get beat up on? Call on Yahawah Bashawa. That's the message. Call on Yahawah Bashawa then. Do what you want to do. So in 1978, after the messenger died, Farrakhan befriended them. So since they was getting beat up on, and Farrakhan from America was trying to support them, that's when Farrakhan started talking the true Jew talk. Farrakhan would come to America talking about the black man really the true Jew, trying to put them on the map. Not that's what we was teaching. Because the original teachings of the Nation of Islam, when you talk about the children of Israel, if you gonna say we the true children of Israel, because the messenger never said true children of Israel.
Jesus don't claim no association with the Jews, with Israel. Let me go back here and get up this. Go ahead, dear God. Go ahead. Yes, sir. And further on, we can find you in the Bible here, and the one is against the waking of you by them. But these things is covered up. In other words, and under symbols. I want you to remember that Israel, the name Israel, don't go crying over Israel, brother. Don't think Israel is a good name. Israel is not a good name. That's right. Israel is an evil name. Yes, sir. Oh, tell him to sit down. Sit down. I know you don't like to hear that. But I make it clear to you according to the Bible. The Bible said Jacob wasn't named Israel. That's right. That's right. That's where we get it from. In the Bible, it said Jacob was given the name. That's right. Israel. Yes, sir. After that, he had conquered the angel. Yes, right? That's right. The Bible says that he wrestled with the angel. That's right. All night. Remember that. Understand what is meant. Now, if this man was wrestling with the angel of God, trying to force the angel to do something the angel did not come to do. Yes, sir. That's an enemy of the angel. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
The way the Muslims broke it down. Master Farad Muhammad is Jehovah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is Moses. And the black man is America is the children of Israel. That's how we broke it down for decades. Till this hypocrite started befriending the Hebrew Israelites. He wanted to put them on the map, so he left Master Farad Muhammad out. He left the messenger out and just tell the black man, we the true children of Israel, we the Israelites and all of that. Trying to put them on the map. So after years of him telling them that, it starts sticking with the rappers, starts sticking with the black man. Then Farrakhan started getting old. Farrakhan stopped wanting to be militant. Muslims stopped whooping niggas' heads. We stopped arguing. We stopped doing everything we've been doing for decades. So now the black Hebrew Israelite. He said the Israelite stuff sticking with the black man. Muslims don't fight no more. Muslims don't even defend themselves. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to step in their place. That's the breakdown of the history in simple terms. Now they just the Jewish Nation of Islam. Just had to break that down real quick. Farrakhan, the chief hypocrite, is the best thing that happened to an Israelite. Now let's get back to Wentworth. It say Wentworth got what you call Shemekah. It was given to him by Rabbi Cam Rabinowitz, dean of something. It was the Israel Rabbinical Academy of America. It says the Shemekah is a document equivalent to a degree. It indicates Matthews is a rabbi, preacher, and leader competent to perform all functions pertaining to the rabbinate in the name of God and glory of Israel. It wasn't a bloodline then. Right. He had a slave name. It took him years of bootlicking to finally get respected for them to give him the what is called the Shemekah. Let's get this nigga the Shemekah. This nigga been licking our boots and licking the bottom of the boot. All the rest of them niggas is trying to get independence, but this nigga still want to lick our boot. So let's get this nigga the Shemekah. So Wentworth got the Shemekah. All the rest of the nigga Jews were just as happy as he. All the boot licking had finally paid off. While Shuttlesworth getting his house bound. Dr. King done been murdered. But his work done paid off for him. Just remember that. Let's go on any further than that. It says what the document really means is that Rabbi Matthews can now go to any white Judaic house of worship without being subject to the embarrassment and subtle hostile inquiries of skeptics or to silence the scornful glares of those white Jews who regard black Jews as a joke at best and an insult at worst. So while all other black people fighting for the black man, this what he did to get accepted by people who don't even like it. We got to keep it for ISUPK, because he gonna say the messenger ain't out, but he out. Messenger ain't nothing, but General Yahawah, he's something, but messenger ain't nothing. We got to keep this on your mind. Let's go on any further than that. It says both black and white Jews now have a new respect for each other and for the rabbi. So then in the article, it got a picture of him shaking the man's hand, grinning and smiling. This is what black people saw the Jew. ISUPK ain't gonna tell, they just gonna start with Abba Bivens. But we gonna go all the way to when Abba Bivens left, because he got tired of bootlicking. He see the messenger turning the black man's heart towards black. So he say we got to start updating like everybody else done update. Got to update the bootlicking. Got to update the foot washing. Got to update the wanting to be accepted by people who hate you. Let's go on any further than that. Now this was 1967, same newspaper. New York Amsterdam News. This is October 28, 1967. This one showing a bar mitzvah with old rabbi. Now 67, Abba Bivens was all the way in it. 67. He was probably in the crowd like with tears in his eyes. Like, oh, old David about to get his bar mitzvah. Oh, David. It said Chief Rabbi Wentworth Matthews on the left, other rabbis, and little David Brown. Not David Israel. Not David Tazariah. Not David, but David Brown. Abba Bivens. Wentworth A. Matthews. But they blacker than us today. That's why you got to get the history.
That's right.
Messenger said history is best qualified to reward our research.
Yes, sir.
Because you got to know what happened yesterday to properly understand what's going on today. Now, what was the messenger doing in this same newspaper, same year? This is the September 27, 1969, New York, Amsterdam News. It says 1,210 Muslim dead. It says we must build independent educational centers throughout the country. Centers in which the black student will be taught in a manner that will create peace and unity among ourselves. That's the man he gonna say ain't honor. While they bootlicking, top of the boot, bottom of the boot, messenger all over the country forming union with the black man. He say we got to get our own educational center. We got to teach our own people. We don't want our children to turn out like old Wentworth, bootlicking. We don't want them to be in the synagogue bootlicking the white man talking about you need a shemaka. We make our own shemaka. The messenger our shemaka. We ain't got a bootlick for a shemaka like ISUPK done did. Bootlicking for a shemaka. Messenger telling the black man, we need our own educational center. It says so, which the black student will be taught in a manner that will create peace and unity among ourselves. It said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said the messenger ain't out, but in the black news, they ain't calling him the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. From the people who was there. Let's read what it say in the newspaper about the newspaper one more time. Why it's important to get the primary source. Now the black man watching him bootlick, but they still ain't disrespect. He called himself Rabbi Matthews the bootlick. They probably looking like, because if you see the messenger, then you see Rabbi, that's a big difference. So you looking at him like, it's Rabbi Matthew. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, though, look what he doing. 1,200 black people to teach them how we can have our own independent educational center. Because when you go to the Google search, talking about primary sources and research, they offer first-hand accounts, eyewitness reports, and immediate impressions of events as they happen. So as this meeting was happening, they see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, leader of the black Muslims, told over 1,200 people gathered at an educational banquet in Waldorf Astoria last week. Mr. Muhammad, who appeared in a special 20-minute color film, delivered a keynote address titled Proper Education for the Black Student. A large audience turned out for the $25 a plate dinner. There was a union of black parents, educators, students, professionals, poverty workers, Muslims and non-Muslims, who had come together to hear and discuss Elijah Muhammad's program.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
God, I forgot the other part. But this show all the people who attended the messengers meeting. All them people. 1,200 people. It was senators. It was politicians. It was black people asking, how can we enroll our children in the University of Islam? All that was going on with the message. While Wentworth and them bootlicking. Now, not only was the messenger telling black people that they need to form an independent educational center, the messenger was also in the colleges. This is the November 1st, 1968 Muhammad speech. Because another thing old officer said, he said, we don't even see the Muslims out in the community no more. Then we don't see them with the bean pie. We don't see them with the newspaper. If you don't never see another Muslim, we done already made our mark. That can't be changed. We changed the thinking of the black man forever. So if you don't never see another Muslim, messenger say, I'll be the winner, whether I'm living or dead. Don't make no difference if you don't never. You will see a black man say, I'm black. You will see a black man named Omar. You will see a black man with bean pie crumbs round his mouth. You will see a black man talking about Allah. You don't never have to see another Muslim. We changed, the messenger changed the black man. Now let's go to the November 1st, 1968 Muhammad speech. It says Howard University newsstand to feature Muhammad speaks and messenger's books. Long before Wentworth. Long before Abu, long before any of them. We was already everywhere. We was in the prisons. We was in the mud on the street. We was in the university. We was over the radio. We was everywhere. Everywhere the black man ears was, there was a Muslim. So in the article, it says apparently, in keeping the developing trend of black awareness, permission was granted recently for the opening of Muhammad Speaks sales stand on Howard University campus. That's very important. Very important. We got to tell it to the Israelites, because these niggas is blacker than the Muslims. Niggas say they don't see Muslims. Niggas say ISUPK better than FOI. Messenger ain't honorable. Master Farad Muhammad ain't got it. They say all that. But long before, when you was still bootlicking, in 1968, say apparently in keeping the developing trend of black awareness. What that mean? The black man used to be a Negro until the messenger. The messenger changed the black man's mind. Because God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. He came to Black Bottom, Detroit, seeking to save that which is lost. So he found one. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He raised up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to resurrect the black man. And the messenger taught us, like the Bible said, when God comes, he comes to make all things new. That's what he come to do. That's how we can tell God was among the black man. Because the black man got a new idea. Yes. He got a new thought. New ideas and new thoughts change your thought process. So I once thought I was a Negro. Now I know I'm black. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad started a new trend which is called black awareness. That's why it's important to get these papers. Because the Jewish Nation of Islam niggas is not gonna tell. That's right. These niggas just gonna tell you about Abu. They gonna tell you about Yahawah. They're going to leave out a lot. They're going to filter him out. That's where we come in. Because he say he don't see no, we want to show you some Muslims. That's what we want to show you. It's still some Muslims. All of us ain't following Lewis.
Right.
There's still some Muslims who love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad started a trend which was called Black Awareness. They want to spread what the messenger taught. Make black people aware. You black, you ain't a Negro.
Right.
So it says, permission was granted recently for the opening of Muhammad Speak sales stand on Howard University campus. It say permission. Let's talk about that. Why they say permission? Let's go 7 years in the past. This comes from another black newspaper. February 25th, 1961, Pittsburgh Carrier. It says Muslim Malcolm X out as Howard U history speaker. It says the Howard University student chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People had to withdraw its invitation for Malcolm X, New York leader of the black Muslims, to address the students on campus during Negro History Week. The students originally planned Mr. X's appearance on the campus for Tuesday, February 14th, for Negro History Week. But when the Howard University officials learned that the guest speaker was to be the controversial Mr. X, the students were immediately notified that Malcolm X's appearance had not, as prescribed, been registered in advance with the Student Association office. You can go read the rest. But they heard, he ain't registered to come, make up any excuse. So the students, obviously, they did what they were supposed to do to get him. The newspaper knew. But then they say he can't come because of the administration, the Uncle Toms, the Wentworth A. Matthews, the bootlickers. They ain't want to hear nothing because just like Bootlick and Wentworth, they working hard to be accepted by the white man. They want their shabaka from the white man, just like Abba Bivens and Wentworth. Yeah. So at first, say, no, OX can't come in 61. So the messenger kept teaching. Do what you want to do. So after years of the messenger teaching the black man, he didn't change the administration, but he changed the black man. So once the Honorable Elijah Muhammad changed, that's how the messenger used to do. Used to fight against the messenger. The messenger would turn the black man against you. To where you put in a corner. Messenger did that to Dr. King. We're going to show the picture of that. Messenger was trying to unite with Dr. King for years. Dr. King blew the messenger off. So the messenger, okay. Martin Luther King would go to meetings. Black people would boo him. Yeah. Then he'd say something in the messenger. Elijah Muhammad is my brother too. Then the crowd. That was in the Jet magazine, because we going to show you the facts, because these niggas in ISUPK ain't going to say it. He ain't honorable. That's what Dr. King thought. He ain't honorable. He ain't nothing but some old hate teacher. Then in 1965, he went to the riot-scarred community of Watts. Black people love the message. So when Dr. King heard the crowd booing him, he said, even Elijah Muhammad is my brother. That was in the Jet magazine. Messenger just turned the black man against you. So Howard University, this hate teacher, we don't like him. Messenger turned the black man again. Now the students want some black awareness. Now they gotta let the messenger in. Just like old Bootlick and Wentworth. Same way. Abba leave. Abba want to change his name. Abba want to talk about the black man. It's a bloodline, Esau. Messenger change you for good or for worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Messenger say, I got the keys to your heaven or the keys to your hell.
That's right.
Messenger say, you fight against me, you just fighting against your own salvation. So Malcolm X, they denied him to come at Howard University. So the messenger keep teaching. They ain't stopping me. So the messenger get the black man to love him. The black man see he honored. The black man trusts what he said. So now the students want black aware. Now we got to let this nigga sell these books. So now he's standing there with his newsstand. Let's see what it say. Apparently in keeping the developing trend of black awareness, permission was granted recently for the opening of Muhammad Speak sales stand on Howard University's campus. The sales stand will be located in the University Center building and will be open for business each weekday, Wednesday. Items on sale will include the famous works of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Message to the Black Man, and Hadith to Live. Also on sale will be recordings, White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell, Black Gold by Louis Farrakhan, and record albums by Messenger Muhammad. Look at all this the messenger got. Before old Abba, messenger got books, he got newspapers, he got record albums, he changing the black man before old Abba. Before ISUPK, before General Yahawah, before Captain Tazariak, before this officer, messenger had this much on the ball. So ISUPK had to do what? They had to update. We can't talk the same talk Wentworth talking. We need to talk that black talk like the black man talking. So let's go on even further than that. Now we want to get into Master Farad Muhammad being God. Now to prove Master Farad, because this is just an introduction. To prove Master Farad Muhammad God, we just don't use Hadith to Live. First, we got to talk about how the wisdom of Moses only was to last for 2,000 years. That's the first thing. Because ISUPK, these niggas, when they go out on the street and they start teaching the black man dietary laws, they be talking about Moses got it from the Israelites. No. So they take what the messenger taught and add it to Leviticus and add it to Deuteronomy. But we got to show you first how Moses' wisdom only lasts 2,000 years. This comes from Lewis. This is the December 3rd, 1972 New York Amsterdam News. This back when you used to say, down to be Elijah Muhammad taught us. That's why we use this hypocrite. We don't use this hypocrite after 75. Because it's what the Honorable Mendelew Farrakhan say now. But we're going to tell you what the messenger said. This comes from the December 30th, 1972 New York Amsterdam News. It's from Louis Farrakhan, the national representative for the message. He says Moses, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, had a wisdom that was to last for 2,000 years until the birth of Jesus. God, I forgot one of my articles. No, I did. Now we gonna get it from the messenger. This comes from the messenger. March 14th, 1969, Muhammad speaks. It says Islam came to Israel from Moses. Israel rebelled and Nimrod broke the civilization of Moses in the 17th century from Moses. So Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, taught me. So originally, What Moses gave to Israel was Islam. Moses' civilization was to last for 2,000 years up until Jesus. Then Jesus was to come. His wisdom lasts for 2,000 years up to the coming of the Mahdi, up to the coming of the Son of Man, up to the coming of the Messiah, up to the coming of Master Farad Muhammad. Because all of this wisdom had an expiration date. That's why Revelation says, God comes to make all things new. Yes. Because Moses' teachings expired, Jesus' teachings expired. Now here come the Mahdi. The Mahdi is who the Muslims waiting for. The Messiah is who the Christians is waiting for. The Christ is who not even new school Israelites is waiting for. But the Christ, the Mahdi, and the Messiah has already come. He came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. That's right. He came to make all things new. So he gave the black man a new thought, a new idea. One of those new thoughts and new ideas comes from how to eat to live, not from Leviticus, not from Deuteronomy. Let's go on even further than that. Now let's talk about the law of Moses. To show you how these ISUPKs and all the rest of these Israelites copy off the Muslims. Now this is where they be talking about, it's saying in the Bible they ain't supposed to eat hog. We call it hog, everybody else call it pork. This comes from Leviticus chapter 11, 1 through 8. We're going to start at verse 3. It says, whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Cheweth the cud. That's the wisdom of Moses. All that cheweth the cud stuff. So if it's parted hooves, so the black man at Kroger, he looking at beef, he looking at some hog, he looking at chicken. How he know about cheweth the cub and the cloven footed? You go to Hog Heaven Soul Food joint. Brother got a slab. Hey, brother, you shouldn't eat that because it don't chew up the cud and the cloven footed. And brother, my face. So the way in the Bible is telling us about clean and unclean is talking about the cheweth the cud and the cloven footed. Then it goes on to say, it say, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat, of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel. Because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto the hoof and the cud and the... That's why the black man say them Jews don't eat hog. Know nothing about the chew of the cud and the hoof and all that. What that mean? Now let's get to the hog. Verse number 7. It says, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is un... What's the difference between him and the other stuff that ain't clean? The chew of the cud stuff. What that mean? Black man don't know. Then it goes even further. It says, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So what the black man know about, what does that mean? So then you got a newspaper, in the same black newspaper that it was talking about Wentworth and all the rest of these people. This comes from the June 5th, 1971, New York, Amsterdam News. Muslims affect eating habits. This something the Israelite niggas ain't gonna tell. Cause we affect them niggas eating habits too. Them niggas ain't understand what Leviticus said. What the chew of the cud and the hoof and all that mean? They don't nobody know. Until the messenger explained. That's why it say Muslims, not Jews. Because Abba Bivens and Wentworth was in New York. That's why I chose the New York Amsterdam News. They was in New York. He had started that ISUPK garbage he talking. Wentworth had been there since 1919. Still ain't had no effect on the black man. Messenger had noticeable effect. Howard University saying, no, we don't want that Muhammad. Then he started influencing black people, well, now we got to listen to him. Let's see what it say about Muslims. First, let me slow down. Got a picture of the message. Then it got Muslim recipes in the black newspaper. It don't say Jewish recipe, Muslim recipes. Muslim bean soup and Muslim whole wheat bread. Messenger giving you the recipe to know how to make wheat bread and bean soup. Where was Abba Bivens? Where was Wentworth? Where was General Yahawah? Where was Captain Tazaria? Where was they at? Let's go on even further than that. It says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Once again, you got to see how he impressed them. Yeah. Not how these jealous niggas gonna talk about. Right. You gotta see how did he affect the people in his lifetime. All of them sing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Care what this nigga say. They say real recognize real. He an Israelite. He ain't supposed to see him as honor. He a savage. That's why he don't see him as honor. But all the black people who was honored, they saw the messenger as honor. Because real recognizes real. Now let's go on even further than that. It said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is quietly causing a revolution in the eating habits of black people in America. These niggas ain't gonna tell you. These jealous hate niggas gonna go to the black man though. And add that how to eat to live to the chew of the cud stuff. You got to remember. They ain't out there just quoting Leviticus and Deuteronomy, talking the chew of the cud. They talking the messengers talk. Let's show you. First, we got to go to the how to eat to live. The messenger was first writing how to eat to live in the Muhammad Speaks. This comes from the November 24th, 1967, Muhammad Speaks. How to eat to live. When the messenger wrote his article on how to eat to live, he said what Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad has revealed to me. Not what it's saying Leviticus. Not what it's saying Deuteronomy. Not what I learned from a bootlicking nigga Jew. But what Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, revealed to me. Yes, sir. Because he came to make all things new. Yes. The black man had the white man's slave name. Master Farad Muhammad gave him a new idea, gave him a new thought. Now he want to be Muhammad. Now he want to be Ali. Now he want to be Kareem. The black man was a Negro, colored person. But God came to make all things new. So he gave the black man a new thought, new idea. He started loving black. So the black man was eating hog, loving hog. So the messenger said, from what God, or Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, taught me. Yes, and it gave the black man a new thought, new idea. So Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is quietly revolutionizing the eating habits of black people in America. Whether this nigga want to call him honorable or not, he honorable.
That's right.
Let's go on any further than that. Because how did the messenger kill all that old, woe-out, 4,000-year-old Moses talk? He didn't tell us nothing about no cheweth the cud. This is what he say about the hog. He said the government permits the deliberate making of alcoholic drinks, which it knows are not good for a person, who has no limitation on how much of it he drinks. And it deliberately turns out millions of dollars worth of hog to put on the market, knowing that the hog is poison and was not made for human consumption. So Abba Bivens and them say, oh, we gotta doctor up the chew up the cud stuff. Because the chew up the cud stuff don't make sense to the black man. Because God was to come and make all things new. So Jesus in the Bible, because Moses' history lasts for 2,000 years up until Jesus. Jesus' wisdom lasts for 2,000 years up to the Mahdi. So Jesus said, it's much more that I like to tell you, but you can't bear it now. But when he comes, the Spirit of truth, he will lead you into all truth. Who is the Spirit of truth? Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He that Spirit of truth. He ain't gonna just lead us into Leviticus, because that's old, worn out, outdated wisdom. He gonna lead us into all truth. He gonna tell us we black. He gonna tell us how to do for self. He gonna tell us how to make a black educational system. And he gonna tell us how to eat to live. So that old woe out Leviticus stuff talk about chew with the cud. But the messenger take it a step further. Because once again, the wisdom of Moses lasts until Jesus. The wisdom of Jesus lasts until the Mahdi. And the Mahdi raises up that Spirit of truth.
Yes, sir.
And that Spirit of truth leads us into all truth. So when you go to the How to Eat to Live, chapter 31, it says truth about pork the pig. This the message. He said pork or pig, all its parts and byproducts, has been a chief food for the so-called American Negro since the days of his physical bondage. The pig was not made for human consumption. The pig is the chief cause of many of our ills and mental deficiencies occurring among the so-called American Negroes and any other people who eat it. That ain't what Leviticus says. Because another thing these niggas say, silly niggas, they say God only gave laws to the Israelites. So that make people think that's just for a Jew. You don't know what the chew of the cud stuff means. But the Jews is the people who had the truth and they hide it. Another parable the messenger taught us about a Jew, the Good Samaritan. It talks about ISUPK and Wentworth now. Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. They say, who my neighbor? Jesus said, it's like a Samaritan. Or it's like a man on a journey from Jerusalem to Jericho. He was struck in the head and left half dead. They did something and say about his raiment. So now this man laying on the side of the road, he been struck in the head and he half dead. Then it say the Levite walk right past. Who the Levite? That's the white man, the Jew. What they do to the black man? Walk on by. Reverend Shuttlesworth them half dead, but they trying to fight. Getting their house bombed. Trying to integrate because they believe that's going to help this half dead man. But the bootlicking Wentworth, walk on by. He don't care nothing about the black. You don't see his house getting bombed. You don't see Wentworth saying nothing for the black man. So the Levite walked on by. Didn't say the Christian or the priest. That's the white man. Walk on by. But it said the Good Samaritan. He came to where the man was. That's Master Farad Muhammad. He came from the holy city of Mecca, Arabia, July 4th, 1930. He came seeking to save that which is lost. So while he walked, he come to the man who beat up on half dead. So he picked the man up. The man represents the black man. We was half dead, eating hard. Didn't know our name, didn't know we was black, didn't love ourselves. We half dead. We walking around as human beings, but our mind is dead. That's half dead. So we was mentally dead, but we was physically alive. So we half dead. Master Farad Muhammad came to where we was. He bound up our wounds. He took us to an end. He told the man at the end, take care of him. Here go 2 pence. Whatever you spend extra on him, I'll return it to you when I return. But take care of this half-dead man. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, taking care of the black man. He don't just leave us with that truth to cut. He give us understanding of what it really means. Yes. Because the white man wrote the Bible to hide the truth from the black man. Yes, sir. So the messenger, and how to eat the leg. He said pork or a pig, all of its byproduct. It don't say that in Leviticus. It don't say that in Deuteronomy. But when you listen to ISUPK, they add it to Leviticus. They add it to Deuteronomy to try to make it seem like Moses' wisdom lasts until today. But it only lasts up to Jesus. Jesus' wisdom only lasts to the Mahdi. He said, I got much more I can tell you. But you can't bear it now. But when he comes, that spirit of truth, he is the one who gonna lead you into all truth, not me. He will. So the messenger goes on. He says the pig is a mass of worms. Each mouthful you eat is not a nutritious food, but a mass of small worms the naked eye can't detect. It don't say that in Leviticus. It don't say that in Deuteronomy. But the Jewish nigga, the Jewish Nation of Islam, they add it. They add the messenger's teachings to the Bible. Because everything in the Bible is outdated. The prophets even say it. They let you know, I don't know it all. But it's going to come one who going to lead you into the hereafter. It ain't going to be me. It's going to be somebody else. But all the jealous niggas who hate the messenger, they just take the messenger teachings, add it to the Bible, and then tell the black, then what the Bible say? The Bible say, pig got worms in it. The pig is this. The messenger said that. Let's go on any further than that. He said the pig is a mass of worms. Each mouthful you eat is not a nutritious food, but a mass of small worms the naked eye can't detect. Worms thrive in the hog. When these worms are digested in your system, they cause a high birth rate to hundreds of new worms called larvae, which travels the bloodstream of your system and lodge into your muscles. Leviticus don't say that. But they about to add it to all. Abba-Bibba and them like, oh man. It's Elijah Muhammad. He come on again. Oh, he come on every week. I'm about to tune in. But when I go back and tell it to the Jewish Nation of Islam, I'm going to act like I got it from myself. I'm going to tell them like this, just what the Bible say. When I tell them about the mother wheel, I'm going to say these are chariots. Black people going to be driving. I ain't going to say Elijah Muhammad. I'm going to say this is what I know. This what God revealed, some spook named Yahawah. Let's go on even further than that. He said these worms even enter your brain, lungs, or your spinal fluid. They cause muscular aches, fevers, and many other symptoms of sickness. The worms have an amazing ability to go undetected in your system for many years. The scientific name for the ill-causing worms found in all pork is trichina, which causes trichinosis. Despite what veterinarians, public health officials, the agricultural department, or your doctor say, the best defense against the pork is do not eat it. When you do eat it, you do not hurt God, his messenger, the Muslims, or anyone else. You hurt yourself. That sounds a little different than what the Jews say.
Yes, sir.
Jews say God only gives the law to the Jew. That's the only one he give it to. But the messenger say no. That's nonsense. The hog is not for human consumption.
Yes.
It ain't even for the white man to eat.
Right.
Because he says, when you do eat it, hold on. He said, despite what veterinarians, public health officials, the agriculture department, or your doctors say, the best defense against the pig is do not eat it. When you do eat it, you do not hurt God, his messenger, the Muslims, or anyone else. You hurt yourself. Somewhere in one of these, he say, all those who eat it. But anyway, the messenger telling us it don't make a difference if you a Muslim, you the devil. When you eat hog, for whoever eat it, this is what it costs. It ain't just something for a Jew. God's laws is not for a Jew. God's laws is for all human beings. When God say don't steal, he ain't just talking about a Jew. When God say you can't do, he ain't just talking, he's talking about everybody.
Right.
So the messenger the one who made it clear. So it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let's go back. It said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is quietly causing a revolution in the eating habits of black people in America. As most community people know, the Muslims teach hard against eating pork. The Muslims.
Yes.
Not the Jewish nigga. Because that's what IUIC gonna tell you. We always been in. No. You wasn't teaching the black man. You didn't understand why. You a nigga who gonna say, tell the black man that the law's only for the Jews. So black people think only Jews don't eat hog. Why should not? Because you don't know what the chew of the cud stuff means. So all these years they say, well, Jews don't eat hog. That's why they explained to you until the mess. They never was talking about the pork worm, muscular problems going to your brain and your bloodstream, none of that. They just say, oh, Jews don't eat pork. These type of people don't eat pork. It wasn't explaining it to you to the message. That's why he caused a revolution in the diet of black people.
Yes, sir.
Let's go on even further. It says, as most community people know, this is what they saw then. Everybody know. It's the Muslims who, it says Muslims teach hard against eating pork or any pork byproducts. And many of us have ridiculed this aspect of Mr. Muhammad's teachings. Many of us have been heard to say that our mothers and fathers and grandparents lived to a ripe old age while they existed primarily on pork. However, one doctor feels that this argument may not be adequate enough to justify our heavy consumptions of pork today. Dr. James P. Carter, a black faculty member of Nashville Vanderbilt University School of Medicine, fears that black people who relish soul food might be eating themselves to death. It says Dr. Carter has found, for instance, that huge numbers of black people die as a result of cardiovascular disease. In fact, Dr. Carter contends that twice as many blacks die because of this set of diseases than do whites. Dr. Carter feels that there might be a moral link between the black man's high pork and salt diet and the vast number of heart ailment deaths. And in order to gather proof, he is now applying to various fund agencies in order to launch a full-fledged probe. This the doctor at the university. The messenger waking him up. He say, oh, wow. I'm thinking that must be why black people with this high blood pressure and all this stuff for the hall. So it says he is now applying to various funding agencies in order to launch a full-fledged probe. Like he gonna start investigating it. Why? Because God came.
Yes.
And he came to make all things new. So he give us a new idea, a new thought. He tell us the truth about the hall that we was never told in Leviticus. Not a messenger revolutionizing a black man's eating habits. Not a doctor looking into it. Let me do a probe to see what this Elijah Muhammad talking about making a whole lot of sense. Let's go on any further than that. It says under consideration is an extensive research study on the Muslim diet for possible recommendations for their diet to black people as an alternative over the present high-content pork and salt diet. That's what them niggas ain't gon', them jealous Israelite niggas. But you can't change the facts. Let's read that one more time. Cause Officer Yahawah said Master Farad Muhammad ain't God. But Master Farad Muhammad came. Like it was predicted and prophesied that he would come. During what is called the resurrection. Because the black man is half dead. He walking around, but he mentally dead. His mind dead. He don't know his name, his language. He don't know what to eat. So God came and made all things new. He gave his messenger that new idea. The messenger started spreading that new idea to black people. So he's changing their diets. Now doctors are starting to be woke up. So now they saying maybe we should give the Muslims diet to black people as an alternative. Because they the ones who go hard against eating pork, not the Jew. Let's go even further than that. It says, in addition to attracting Dr. Carter's attention, Mr. Muhammad's guidelines on how to eat to live was the subject of a feature story in the April issue of Essence magazine. God came. Make all things new. Now everybody, wait a minute. This Elijah Muhammad, let's look at this how to eat to live. Let's see if what he's talking about is for real. He done changed black people's whole eating habits. Now the doctors looking into it. Now newspapers and magazines writing articles about what them. He ain't writing articles about Leviticus, Deuteronomy, the Chew of the Cud. They writing about what the messenger said. Right. So now all the nigga Israelites take what the messenger say, add it to Leviticus and say, oh, this is what the Bible said. To try to take the attention off the message. But the thing that's beautiful, just like we look back on them Egyptians, this the kind of stuff you read when you do research. 100 years from now, when Yahawah Bashawa done faded away, when Officer Yahawah and them ain't here, when people look at the history, they gonna say this was Elijah Muhammad. All the other niggas was copying off because he was the one who revolutionized the black man's eating habits. He the one who woke up these doctors. He the ones who changed the black man all over. Cause then niggas like IUIC pop up. Niggas like ISUPK copying off him. Let's go even further. I gotta speed through. It says, although their numbers are believed to be small, the influence of the Muslims is being felt. And as in the case of Dr. Carter, those of us who made light of Mr. Muhammad's recommended diet might now take a closer look for the benefits of ourselves and our families. Regardless to what this nigga say what you don't call him on. He's still on. You just a savage. You just making yourself manifest. Let's go on any further than that. Now let's talk about 1 meal a day. We wrapping it up. Same newspaper. This comes from the August 14, 1971. Because the other article we read came from the June. So this one now August. Same year. They still talking about the messenger. They got the messenger's recipes for bean soup. They got his recipes for Muslim whole wheat bread. Then they got pictures of the chef in the restaurant. It says, the Salam 7 chef take waiter's order in the stainless steel kitchen, one of the most modern in the city. Mr. Muhammad's teachings emphasize cleanliness. All this, but this nigga gonna say, oh, he ain't honorable. But General Yahawah is the one who. Let's go on any further than that. So now it's the same black newspaper. It's the New York Amsterdam News, August 14, 1971. It says Muslims advocate eating only 1 meal per day. Why is that so important? Why is that important today? Everybody talking about 1 meal a day now. What they do is they abbreviate it. It's OMAD. That means 1 meal a day. This says the benefits of fat. This comes from TikTok. Go to TikTok and just type in 1 meal a day. Look at all the stuff that come up. But they don't give no credit to the messenger. Let's talk about how the messenger taught us how that's prophesied in the Holy Quran. Because now the white man that took over. White man and these lying nigga Israelites. The white man taking over in the medical thing, and the nigga Israelites standing on the corner with the Bible, adding how to eat to live to Leviticus and Deuteronomy. But they don't give the messenger no credit. So this is what the messenger told us in Message to the Black Man, page 104. It says, they deceived our fathers and are now deceiving the children under many false disguises, as though they want to be friends of the black man, such as integration and intermarriage. So the messenger telling us the white man deceived our fathers, now they deceiving us. Under many disguises. He says, as though they want to be friends of the black man, such as integration and intermarriage. Now this comes from the Holy Quran. He says, the devil said to Allah, I shall certainly come upon them from before them and from behind them, and from their right and from their left. And thou wilt not find most of them thankful. So Master Farah Muhammad come. He see the half-dead man. He raised a messenger. He teach the messenger. The messenger taught us in Message to the Black Man. He say we the first ones. We should be happy to be the first ones to get this secret knowledge of God. We should be happy. Then in the Muslim wants and beliefs, he talks about the resurrection. He said a black man will be resurrected first. Not that the black man is the only one that's going to be resurrected. He going to be resurrected first. Yes. And he said we should be happy to be the first ones to get this secret knowledge of God. But he said, the devil though, he ain't going to leave us alone. He said the devil told Allah, I'm going to come from in front of them, from behind them, from their left and their right. And you ain't going to find most of them thankful. So now the white man now, talking about 1 meal a day. This right here comes from Dr. Eric Bird. It says OMAD benefits. So now he telling you the benefits of 1 meal a day. Then we had this one. 1 meal a day. The white man not telling you about the benefits of 1 meal a day. Another. And this is called OMAD man. 24 hours without food. So now the white man tell him. They're going any further than that. Now you got a black, no disrespect to her. She probably don't know. She deaf, dumb, and blind. But now she pick up what the white man say. Now she talking about 1 meal a day. But ain't saying nothing about the messenger. Because the messenger taught us about the devil. When it says, the devil said to Allah, I shall certainly come upon them from before them, from behind them, and from their right and from their left. And thou wilt not find most of them thankful. This is being fulfilled before our very eyes today. The devils are doing both. They come to the so-called Negroes as friends and as open enemies. They go before them changing the truth into false, and come behind the truth bearer to the so-called Negro speaking evil of the truth. They threaten the so-called Negroes with poverty and imprisonment and make rosy promises to them only to deceive. So the white man pretending like, oh, nah, I want to teach. He always knew it. But he just hid it from us. Just like the Bible. The white man wrote the Bible to hide the truth. The messenger come explain it to us. Now we ain't grateful, so we just take what the messenger say, add it to the Bible, and tell the black man it just say that. That's just what the Bible say. So when you got a nigga, because the devil uses niggas like ISUPK and IUIC. They use these niggas. Because the messenger taught us. He said if the white man taught you the truth that I'm teaching you, it's like him taking a knife and cutting his own throat. The white man will never teach you what the messenger taught. He just taking the messenger's truth just to continue to mislead you. White man always knew that hog was poison. Always knew it. We just didn't know. That's why I say we will be the first to be resurrected. This truth was hidden from us. He always knew. So what he do now, he just take the truth, then he just add it to lies. Then he let niggas like ISUPK and them come around. Take the messenger's truth, add it to the Bible, and then make the black man think this just what the Bible said. Because the white man don't harass these Israelite niggas like they did the Muslims. When the messenger was around, it wasn't a year that went by that a Muslim didn't die, go to jail, get locked up, have a fight, temples raided. For decades. When the white man attacked these niggas can stand on a corner with microphones, calling black women the B word, arguing. They could have a person down the block. These niggas got microphones, hollering and arguing with people. Muslims used to just have newspapers. Muhammad speaks. Police roll up on them, shoot and kill them. Police set up other black people to start something so they can come in and arrest the Muslims. Police set up stuff so they can come shoot up the temple. They got informants, all kind of stuff they got on the neck. But they don't do nothing to these niggas. Because they want you to take you away from the message. Because God chose him. And the messenger said, it's another one he tells us. That's in message to the black man. Allah's response to the devil. I forgot to get that. After the devil, tell Allah, thou wilt not find most of them thankful. Allah tell the devil, I feel hell with y'all. He say, oh, you gonna trick them. And no, them IUIC niggas, I feel hell with them niggas. I don't care nothing. I done gave them a chance. That's how Allah work. I raised up a messenger for these half-dead, bootlicking Jewish Nation of Islam niggas. You niggas was bootlickers. You niggas only believed in the Torah. You ain't believe in the New Testament. You didn't believe in Jesus. You didn't believe in the Bible until you heard my message. My messenger was the one that taught you Jewish niggas about Jesus. Taught you Jewish niggas about the mother wheel that you call chariots. Taught you niggas that God is black. taught you niggas that it's a bloodline from Allah to his people. That's what I taught my men. You don't think I see you niggas? I see you niggas. I see the Muslims too. It's a faithful few. I see it all. Messenger said Allah, or it says in the Holy Quran. This is one of my favorites. As I wrap it up. Allah says in the Holy Quran in the Battle of Uhud, he tell the Muslims, I caused you to lose, just so I can see the hypocrites' hand to believe. I let these fake niggas like ISUPK and IUIC come take all the truth from my message, just to see what the Muslims gonna do. What you gonna fight for, or you gonna let these niggas just take it? You gonna stand on it, or you gonna let these niggas take it? Because the history recorded. No matter what these niggas say, you can make up all the lies you wanna make up, but the researchers who go get the history will see that it's Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was the one who came and revolutionized the black man from inside out. No matter what you update niggas say, no matter how jealous you niggas get, it's Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Soul Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.